When students have experienced trauma, learning comes second to feeling safe. So that's where Akron Children's School Health Services steps in to help.
Thanks to Covelli Enterprises chip in for Children's Mental Health Campaign at Panera, Akron Children's hired a new trauma and resiliency coach. Missy McLean is the Community Outreach Coordinator for Akron Children's. She's joining us live this morning on Zoom along with Danielle Covelli. Ladies, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
No, we're glad
Yes,
to.
good morning. Thank you.
So, Missy, I'll start with you. Can you explain just how much childhood trauma affects kids as they grow up?
Yes, absolutely. Trauma is something that can happen to us. It's more than just about experiencing sad or scary things. It's having this this thing happen to us where we feel overwhelmed and alone in these experiences, and it can impact us throughout our lives, and it can impact the ways that we're able to behave at school, the ways we're able to learn at school, the ways we're able to communicate about our feelings, our physical health as we grow older. Trauma is something that can color everything that we do in our lives, but it's not the end of our stories, right? It's just a part of it. And so when we are able to learn to grow to thrive and grow with trauma, we're actually able to be successful and happy adults.
Missy, can you explain how the trauma coach will work with the schools?
Yeah, so in the Youngstown and Mahoning Valley area, we have a very new coach. His name's Nick Morio, and this coach allows us to go into the individual school buildings and help teachers and administrators and school counselors and even cafeteria staff and transportation staff help better understand what happens when we experience trauma, but also help us really build those positive environments where students who've experienced trauma can thrive. I think of it as building a culture of wellness for all of the students who are there, but especially for our students who might be having a tougher time at home or in their communities.
So I mentioned the Chip In for Children's Mental Health campaign. Danielle, why is that so important to Covelli Enterprises?
Well, Covelli, we see it as our duty to support the greatest needs across the communities we serve. And we know there is a great need for mental health services, especially among children and young adults. So we have been supporting organizations that have been at the forefront of addressing this critical need in our communities, like Akron Children's School Health Services Program. They have been doing incredible work in this arena, and we have just been so happy to be able to collaborate with them over the last few years. And we can't wait to see the impact Nicholas has on our communities in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, wow. I'm sure it's going to be definitely a positive impact on our youth. Now, Missy, before we let you go, stress, it affects us all. What are some ways it impacts kids and what can we do about it?
Yeah, stress is something that impacts all of us. And when we experience stress, it can feel overwhelming. But for each of us as adults and for kids, I think one of the most important things is to remember to just stop, take a break, take a breath. When we're working with our kids at home, giving them, amount of time to really kind of anticipate some of those things that are going to be stressful. There are plenty of things in our lives that we know are going to be stressful, going to the dentist, having to take a test at school, and how we can anticipate those stressors and help our children through positive communication and helping our kids through those coping mechanisms like taking deep breaths and counting to 10 and, even doing things like mindfulness can really help.
All right. Well, Missy, Danielle, thank you so much for joining us this morning, teaming up to make a huge difference in our community. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
No, always
Thank you.